Hi, I'm Kevin Ramsey and welcome back to Sweet Home Gardening YYJ. You know when your friend spills a beer or spills their liquor and you say that's an alcohol crime? Well, in gardening, if you let some of your perfectly grown produce go to waste, that's a gardening crime. So today, I'm going to show you some easy tips for saving your produce and for saving seeds. So here we are in the salad garden. Everybody should have a salad garden. This stuff is ready to pick and I've got multiple lettuce planted in pots elsewhere. Keep on staggering the timeline. Now, I don't have to kill this plant to eat it. Just go along, pick off the biggest leaves, and leave the plant alive. Just pick what you need. Some of the plants, it's harder to get the leaves off, so use scissors so you don't hurt the plant and the roots. This is a purple Osaka mustard green. Look at that, beautiful. And this is my favorite red lettuce here. Now, eventually the lettuce is going to bolt. It doesn't stay alive forever, so it's going to start getting this stalk up the middle, and that's when you need to pull it all. You're either going to keep it and let it go to seed, or you're going to pull it and you're going to save it in the fridge. At that point, when it's going to seed, you're better off to keep the lettuce in the fridge. So now I've got my cultivated lettuce inside. I've kept it in a full leaf. You can wash it in really cold water, or ice water is probably the best. Once you get it all clean, you're going to dry it off really well. Get a salad spinner if you don't have one. You can't have a salad garden without a salad spinner. And then spin it off good. And then to store it, now I don't know what it is about this, but a piece of paper towel in there seems to make all the difference. So wash, spun dry, in with a piece of paper towel into a zipper plastic bag, and that is good for a week. So we've had a lot of good berries. The raspberries are starting to ease off, but eventually we'll get fall raspberries as well. So here's just what we haven't been able to eat in the last day or two. I'm going to wash them off and we're going to save them. Now, raspberries are super fragile, so you're not going to run any water over them. Just dunk them in water. Give them a little swish. Super fragile. You still gotta wash off the bug poop, as my wife would say. Then, I'm gonna dry them because I don't want a whole bunch of ice crystals to form on them when I freeze them. So just a little bit of drying off here. Then onto a sheet. Then onto a cookie sheet. You can also use parchment paper on the bottom. You just want something to be able to roll it up, break all the berries apart when they're frozen. And then this is ready for the freezer. Keep it in the freezer. And once you're done, you'll have a big, beautiful bag of your own. This is my third bag, and we're still going. You'll have a big bag of your own fresh berries. Green beans have a tendency to come fast and furious, and even though I stagger my crops weeks at a time, I still get way too many at once. So for me, there's 3 stages of a green bean. 1, nice, tender, yummy, can steam this and eat it. 2, it's too big, need to pickle it, make great blazing beans. And somewhere in between is stuff that I'll freeze. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blanch these. These, because of the size, I'm going to blanch this for about 3 minutes in boiling water. Now that I've got these blanched and cooled down, I'm just going to dry them off just like the berries. I don't want a bunch of crystals, and it also contributes to your produce sticking together if you got a lot of ice on it. So Once they're dried off, either into a tin sheet with parchment paper or on another one of these fancy plastic cutting boards, into the freezer, let them freeze, break them up into a zippered plastic bag, good for a year at least. Once you've found a lettuce or a plant that you like, you should never have to buy those seeds again. Just let it flower, let it die, and let it go into its seed season. So this is my favorite red lettuce, and you can see I have these dandelion-like flowers here. All I have to do is pinch that, and now that's all seeds. So as you can see, that's about 20 from one little flower there. This is the turnip. Turnip has a nice, easy to separate pod. Split that apart. Bunch of seeds there. Easy peasy. This is my spinach. Spinach is one of the easiest things. You get about 40-50 seeds per cane, and it's these little balls. Really easy. And this, last but not least, is my radish. This is a daikon radish, and it gives you, of course, really easy to get seeds. Now, they're not always easy to get, so really you don't have to go crazy about separating them. I can store them like this, just in a paper bag until I'm ready to use and pick off the seeds I want. Otherwise, I'll be here for hours and hours trying to separate the seeds from the pods, and it's just not worth it. But saving seeds is. And don't forget pea seeds. It doesn't get any easier than this. Let them die and dry out on the vine, and you've got your seeds for next year or for microgreens all year round. So I'm going to end this episode with a funny, not so funny story about weeding. You know I hate weeding. Well, last year I grew corn. I don't normally grow corn because it takes a lot of water, needs a lot of space. But last year, all you pandemic poser gardeners bought all the seeds, so I was limited to just what I had saved myself. So I planted corn because I had lots of corn seeds. I didn't know there's a fake corn. So there's a weed that looks exactly like corn. And I let that weed grow to 6 to 8 feet high. I wondered why it didn't have any corn cobs on it. And the worst part is it has this head like a corn, but this is totally not dangerous to my yard. This has 1 million seeds, weed seeds in it. So I had about 4 of these monstrous fake corns, and then I processed it and threw it in the compost. So now it's everywhere. I've got millions of fake corns all over my yard, and I hate weeding. Nature is a cruel, cruel, you know what. Oh yeah, nature has another trick in store for us. Fake carrots. I should write a song called Don't Eat the White Carrots. I hope I helped you find some ways to save your produce and avoid some gardening crimes. And I hope I shared a good laugh with you about my weeding misery. Until next time, I'll be weeding. Happy gardening.